one just gets better and better every time for some reason for me.
Creep. some royalty-free music to bring us in. So let's get right to the chase, man. What happened over the weekend at Forget the PR? Good
Dude,
time?
what a like every year, man. Every year it's like it weirdly sneaks up on you every year for some reason. Like it's just and like you're like and like Mark, right, does a great job of like reaching out to all the volunteers, like, hey, we still good? Do you need anything? And so you know it's there, right? But dude, that thing is such a well-oiled machine that all of a sudden just boom, it's time, it's go time, and like you're there. But yeah, we got up there. Oh, dude, they had the best weather for running. Like
nice.
It was, I bet it was probably by time maybe in the mid 50s worse. Probably mid 50s, pretty overcast, pretty nice and overcast. It had rained like a couple days before, so it wasn't super dusty. I mean, dude, it was chef's kiss.
Wow.
Like it could have maybe been 10 degrees. Like for me, I like it down in the 40s, like for like really, really long runs in the daytime. But it was just they had great weather. But
man, that almost never happens there.
Oh,
like because April is such a crapshoot. It always seemed like it was perfect the weekend before.
Yep.
And then the weekend of the race, it was either like an unseasonably hot day or like rain and mud.
Yep. I was able to hang out at my beer tent and hand out beer. I stood there all day, very, very comfortably in like a very, very light flannel, a t-shirt and shorts, and stood there perfectly comfortable all day.
Man.
No glaring. It was but what was really cool, so Friday night got up there, hung out, saw a couple people. Saturday woke up, race got off to a nice early start, right, like it always does. But what I went ahead and left the beer for a little while and just threw some shoes on and did a little jog out and got some pictures. Like I think I posted them to Instagram. Jogged out, got some pictures on the course of some folks at this one point, and then just kind of jogged back in. Here's what's really cool though. I'm such a shitty person for doing this, but they're getting right here. Hopefully, as I'm jogging back in, someone's like, "Hey, love the podcast," and I'm like,
"Really?
Oh, super dope, yeah."
Nice.
I didn't catch the guy's name, but I believe I'm like 99.9% positive he and his family, I'm assuming it's his daughter, live up in Avon. They live right on the lake up in Avon. Nice. Because they make this theory because she had an Avon patch on her jacket.
Okay.
So I'm assuming if that was his daughter, they live in Avon. So anyways, if you're listening, sorry I didn't catch your name. I did give him a couple stickers because at least I thought that far out. Didn't catch, but he was like, yeah. So I sat and shot the shit with him a little bit. I know he's a great listener because he asked me about the shoes I had on. I had my Mount to Coast shoes on. Okay. He asked me about them. Talked about those a little bit. Talked to a couple other folks about the shoes. Dude, by the way, the more I play around in those shoes, those things are ridiculously light. Like they are so comfortable.
Nice.
But yeah, dude, we'll talk about a little bit more here in a second, but Trumbo.
Chad Trumbo.
Yeah, dude. The three dudes that finished, the times, it's like bam, bam, bam. Oh my gosh. So much to talk about the women's 50K. The women's 50K, a fucking legend, won it, right? Like just straight up a legend. Like,
yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about that.
Yeah, can't dispute that. But the lady who took second or third, I believe third. I wait until I tell you the story about her and something interesting about her. It is wild. We have to do a little bit, maybe of a little bit of a nerdy deep dive in on her.
Okay.
We will. Yeah, dude, it was a fun weekend, you know. And then
I love that weekend, man. I miss that so much.
Here's how nice the weather was. By the way, here's a good way I began to here's my barometer that I began to use to gauge of how nice the weather was. Because if it's super cold, it doesn't happen. If it's super hot, weirdly enough, it doesn't happen because people just want to get out of there. Both kegs that we bought, we got 2 kegs. Both of them were floated at like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
Oh yes,
dude. And I'm not talking.
I love that.
Yeah, and I'm not talking like, oh, there's a little bit left in there, but I'm tired of trying to. Dude, I am talking. Them bitches were licked dry.
You're like, we need to make a beer run.
Like legitimately. And by the way, there was bourbon donated that was sitting at the kegs. We went through not 3 full bottles, but we went through 1 entire bottle and like the lion's share of 2 other bottles of bourbon.
Holy shit, that sounds dangerous.
Dude, it was a ridiculous, like it was so much effing fun, which is completely on brand. The park was beautiful as it always is. It was just it was chef's kiss of a great. It was just like the ideal, forget the PR weekend.
And it seemed like there was a lot of old school, like the forget the PR fam out there. Like my buddy Lucas, who got me into ultra running, he ran this year, and he hadn't ran it in a while.
Yeah, it's funny because Chaz ended up sitting. Chaz and Chaz and Ronnie and even Pete's grumpy old ass actually sat and chit-chatted with Lucas for a little while.
Oh, nice. Because Ronnie knows him. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And Lucas is still running in fucking like not 5-figure like shoes, but like
the Morel Trail gloves or something.
He's still running in those fucking things. But yeah, bumped into Lucas. But like, dude, like on the note of old school people, like Lucas was there, right? Seth Chin from out in Granville.
Yeah, I saw a picture on social media with him.
And now, like, don't get me wrong, I cannot remember a year that he hasn't been there. But still, it's just really fucking cool to see him. That dude's a fucking monster. Like, he's a great runner, right?
So fast.
He was there. Speaking of fast, fucking Jay Smithberger.
Is that his son, Elliot?
His son, Elliot. Yeah, and so now Jay. It's funny because Jay is now getting to the point where he's pushing his whole thing is like he just wants to, like kind of help his son get to certain like marks on his, but Jay's there with his son Elliot, and it's like, dude, it was fucking cool. I know I'm forgetting, and then never mind, like that's the runners, right? Never mind the fact that like Don Bond is there, Don Baum is there, I mean, like, get the fuck out of it, dude. If there's not a more historic person at Mohican than him,
I know.
It's hard to find, right?
Yeah, he's great. Hey, Don, if you still listen to the show, man, shout out.
Yeah. And so he was there, but like this year's award for like outstanding person, like they hand out an annual award to like a good steward of trail running.
Yeah.
It went to Rob Powell.
Yeah, I saw Rob was up there in a picture on the mic.
So Rob Powell got an award, right? So he got this year's award.
That's great.
It was just like, I know I'm forgetting other people, but that's how like chock full it was this year. Like, it was just ridiculous, the badass people that were there this year.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna really have to try to get out there for that at least 2 more times to get my 10-year.
There you go. I'll tell you what, at some point this summer I'm gonna get my oh, by the way, I learned a new anatomy today. That very specific section of my quad is called the VMO.
Look at you.
There you go. The more you know, fucking G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm gonna get my. Don't ask me. I can't remember what VMO stands for. The O is oblique. The M is something along the lines of medial, and then vascular. Something along.
At least you have it narrowed down to what it is, so you can adjust accordingly. Do you think the heel rise is helping at all with that, or no?
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit, but you know what? Really, I think really is slowly paying off dividends. Is one, the dry needling. I think it's paying off dividends. Shout out Dr. Murphy. Dry needling is paying off. And then also, candidly, like you and I have discussed this, and I've talked about it on the podcast, between the initial injury, right? Like it was just such a wild combination of DNF and Old Dominion. Basically, as soon as I DNF'd Old Dominion, we went to Europe for 2 weeks. I got fat as fuck in Europe. You're in Europe for 2 weeks. I ran a handful of times, but I think it was actually during Europe sometime. I think I was running down a hill in Germany. I really do think that's when I probably actually did it. But then you have that injury. Well, that injury set me back from that point all the way for like 9 months. Right when I was getting ready to start running back, it's the heart stuff came. Anyways,
right.
I packed on a lot of weight. And so, now, okay, yes, there's definitely the injury to the VMO and like the knee cartilage and shit like that. But also just candidly, like slowly, like whittling away the extra weight is obviously helping also. But
good.
I think those three things are making a big difference. But
cool.
Anywho, that's all of my weekend and all that stuff. What about you? Anything exciting going on out there?
I have some family in town, so I've been hanging out with them, and it's been nice. So
yeah.
But yeah, not doing anything too crazy.
You couldn't feel that earthquake, right? That earthquake. There's no way you felt. There's no way we're that.
No, that was like San Diego is maybe a 5.5 hour drive south.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
It was a strong one, though. I mean, initial reports were like 6.7. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, 6.7, dude. 6.7.
Came down to like 5.2 or something.
Yeah, I think I saw like a 5.1 or something like that. One of my people lives in San Diego, and I asked her, like, shit, what was that like? She's like, she was flying. She was coming home from vacation. She's like, thank God I was still in there. She's like, I would have shit myself. I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah. So
yeah, it's an uneasy feeling, but let's go ahead and get into this. We got some race results to talk about, including Gorge Waterfalls and Lake Sonoma, a couple FKTs, another one in New Zealand. That trail's like just caught fire this year.
Yeah.
I mean, not literal fire, but figurative. We got not too much news. Got a LazCon update, some sponsorship news, and 3 T's. We're gonna talk about getting high.
Oh shit!
Not the happy lettuce kind of high, but
not on your own supply.
We're talking about altitude, but yeah, let's go ahead and let me get this pulled up. Okay, we're going to start with Forget the PR just because it's like the best race. And actually, Forget the PR made the Ultra Running Magazine race results. It was one of the featured races this week, so that's kind of cool. So as we kind of discussed already, Chad Trumbo, who he's just been a legend at Forget the PR.
Yeah.
And he won by less than 2 minutes, like 1 minute, 14 seconds. So sounds like it was pretty close with Oren Dvorak. Chad finished in 4 hours and 24 minutes and 46 seconds. And Oren was 4 hours and 26 minutes. And Hunter Kanish was 4 hours and 28 minutes. So just a little over and 22 seconds. So a little over 2 minutes after that. So yeah, wow. What a podium. Like that must have been an intense race.
And here's what's crazy. All 3 of those guys have won this race in the past.
Nice.
Like all three of those guys are returning winners. Now Trumbo is a multiple time returning champion. But here I will say this. I would if you asked me to put money on it, I would have honest to God bet that we would have saw times yesterday that would have really rivaled and really pushed all-time bests. You know what I mean? Like I was like,
just these guys because of the weather.
So I cannot, like, I know I'm being over the top. That weather was fucking amazing.
That's great.
But dude, even at 424, I want to say the record for this course, which by the way is a Trumbo record, is like 407 or some crazy shit.
Is 405 by Chad Trumbo in 2017.
Yeah, so it's ridiculous. So
well, he holds the top two fastest times, 405, 407.
Yeah,
Sean Pope, who was a young legend back when I was first getting into ultra running.
Yeah.
He has the third fastest time, and Jay Smithberger, Jay has the fourth fastest time. So.
And what's really crazy is if you look at the third and the fourth fastest times, they're the same fucking year.
Yeah.
And Jay's twice as old. And Jay's twice as old as Sean at that point.
So that 2010 was the first year I was around the race, and I was volunteering at Covered Bridge. And that year was one of the years where they actually did the Mohican River crossing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was so cool, and I did it a couple years where we did the Mohican River crossing too, but it was so cool, you know. Like this is my first like ultra race that I've even been around ever.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like these guys are wading through a waist deep river, and I'm like, this is cool as fuck.
I love this sport. Yeah, dude, there was no going through that river this year. That fucker was deep.
I don't think they'll do it anymore, even if it is crossable.
Yeah,
but,
I don't see it happening anymore.
But anyways, yeah. So and then let's look at the women finishers here in the 50K. In first place was none other than the legend Lee Connor.
Yeah.
I mean Lee just she's always just been hardcore, man. Just crushing it. She's won a lot of races, and 5 hours and 39 minutes.
And I mean, didn't she at one, like, it wasn't too many years ago, she was up for like Ultra Runner of the Year, right? Or something, like she was up for some sort of like it was a magazine that was doing something, and she was in there running for it. I can't remember what it was though. Yeah,
she's been very competitive in a lot of big mountain races.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't surprise me. Looks like the top female time, I forget the PRs, Beth Woodward, perhaps, and that was in 2010 as well. 4 hours and 52 minutes.
2010 must have been a great year. People were flying that year.
That was when I made the decision that I was going to run ultras.
Yeah.
Because I was just kind of enamored with the idea, and like volunteering there was great. You know, Lucas was like, "Hey, you want to come volunteer at this race with me at Covered Bridge?" And I'm like, "Sure."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, this is cool."
So Kathleen Tremblay, right? She took second. And here's what pretty impressive, right? Like she's only like 4 minutes behind. She's only like 4 minutes behind Lee.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, she was actually kind of sort of hanging with Lee for a little while. And what I love about Lee is she will give anybody and everybody advice, right? Like,
yeah,
hell, sometimes you don't even have to ask for it. She's going to give it to you, right? And it's usually pretty good advice.
Yeah.
So she's extremely friendly. But at the end of the day, Lee is a fucking competitor. So I've heard through the grapevine. I heard through the grapevine that Lee was like, well, this lady running with me is strong. She's good, but she doesn't know how to suffer like I know how to suffer. And just basically like, bloop, dropped it another level down and just like fucking whatever.
That's what it is. She can just shut down pain and just, she's just like you said, competitive, just like, I'm going to get this thing done. She's hardcore, man.
So it was really, like, to see Lee win, it was like really cool because I haven't seen her a ton in a couple of years. She's been kind of laying low, but I was shooting a shit with her a little bit at the finish line, and I found out that she ran this just to get her legs loose again, and then she's heading down to Georgia Death
or Georgia Jewel or
Cruel Jewel. She's heading down to
Cruel Jewel.
You know why she's heading to Cruel Jewel?
Hard Rock qualifier.
As a test run to see how well she'll do in Hard Rock, because she's in Hard Rock this year.
Oh, are you serious?
Yep.
She's going to run Cruel Jewel as a training run for Hard Rock?
As a warm-up for Hard Rock.
Dang. That's hardcore, man.
But it's I mean, this is the same person who I remember listening to tell people that she runs around dragging a tire behind her. You know what I mean? Like, it's that same person. Like, she is a different motherfucker, boy.
It's going to be interesting seeing what she does out at Hard Rock. That's awesome.
Because she really hasn't ran. Like, she had basically come out of I wouldn't say retired, but she had basically shut down ultra running. And then got into Hard Rock. I was like, well, fuck it. Guess I got to come back. So it'll be super cool. So Kathleen, I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about Kathleen. Obviously a strong runner, right? Like, she's finishing 4 minutes behind Lee. The interesting thing about Amelia, right, who took third, and she came in at 5:46.51. The interesting thing about her is this year they were telling me that the way bibs were issued was the lower your number, right? The lower your bib number, the higher your ultra sign-up score. Okay?
Yeah.
So you can imagine how enamored I was with Amelia when her bib number was number 1 and Trumbo's was number 2. And I'm like,
okay.
Hold the fuck up. And so she finished, and I'm like, hey, did you even know about this? And she's like, oh, I didn't even know how that worked. Like, I had no clue. And so I'm like, well, what the fuck have you done? Like, what have you ran? And she's like, oh, well, this is my 4th race. I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, hold up. What do you mean it's your 4th race? She's like, yeah, I ran Super Bowl Trail Championship. I ran Get Lucky, and there's something else that's not. I can't remember what else she said.
It's not listed here.
Or maybe this was her 3rd. She has oh wait, I could be wrong. No. This was her 3rd of 4. She's also signed up for Mo 100.
Oh, nice.
But so I'm like, how the fuck did you get 1? Well, dude, look.
First place, 2nd place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you can imagine. And so I believe, I think at Super Bowl, I think that is a new course record.
Oh,
at
nice.
Super Bowl.
Okay.
So I mean,
Wooster, Ohio.
Yeah, and so I'm not familiar with this race, to be honest with you.
And then the Get Lucky 50-50, she ran the 50 mile and got 2nd.
Oh, wait. No. At Super Bowl, the top record is none other than Sarah Beal. At Super Bowl. So she doesn't have it there. And that's a 4:16. That's fucking blistering fast.
Yeah,
so let's see something. Let's hop back. Did she somehow get something at Get Lucky? 8:13. All-time results. Emails. No, I don't know.
Well, she got 2nd there.
And she has the 7th fastest time. She does have the 7th fastest time there. So, regardless,
Yeah, I mean, if you've only done 2 races and you got first and second, you're gonna have a pretty high ultra sign-up ranking. So
and oh, by the way, it's not like it's not by accident. Like she's running, you know what I mean? Like she's clearly running really good times, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But it's also really funny just how new she is to the sport and like how like I don't know, like she was just like here. The other funny thing was her boyfriend ran the 50K and like Amelia finished like legitimately several hours before him and just hung out and shut the shit and waited for him. And then when he came across, she's like, "Oh, you did really good." He's like, "You've been done for hours."
Oh my God.
That's so great. It was so funny.
That's
Listening
awesome.
like how nice she was to him. And he's like, "God, you've been done for hours." Like, what? Don't try to blow smoke up my ass. How great I did.
Right. All right. Cool. I'm glad. Glad it was a good old fashioned family style. Forget the PR 50K. Sounds great. Let's go on to Gorge Waterfall. Tons of talent out here, and actually 2 spots for the men and 2 spots for the women were up for grabs for the to represent Team USA in the World Mountain and Trail Running Championships, which is in September in Spain. So yeah, chance to earn spots on Team USA. And in the 100K, Adam Peterman on his comeback tour.
Man.
You know, he was injured and we didn't hear much from him last year. And this year he's just been on a tear, man. Let's see what he's done this year. Well, that's showing his first race this year, but towards the end of last year, he came back and won the City to Sky 50K in Missoula. He got 6th overall at Speed Goat last summer. But from the looks of it, he's completely back. He just won the Gorge Waterfalls 100K ultra competitive in 7 hours and 59 minutes. Trayson Knopp was second in 8:05, and Philip Royer 8:19. First for the women was Shea Aquilano, and she's a really cool person. I heard her on AJW's podcast, and she's young too, and she's like just crushing it. So we're gonna be saying her name a lot on the show in the up and coming. You know, she got 6th at Black Canyon, and then she won Gorge Waterfall 100K 9:14. Jade Bellsberg, another elite, 9:27, and for second, and Claire Rhodes 9:34 for third. So
Claire Rhodes.
This is Gorge Waterfalls in Cascade Locks, Oregon. This is you know, like I said, this is a race that I believe they stopped having it, and then this Daybreak Racing in Free Trail brought it back.
Yeah, it said on their website, Rain.
Daybreak Rain Shadow Running.
Rain Shadow, yeah. They bought it or took it. I think did Rain Shadow go out, or are they just reducing their?
Not really sure. Not really sure what the story was.
Yeah, you are correct though. It is now theirs. So
yeah, so pretty cool.
It is definitely one of the ones I want to get out and do. It looks.
Oh badass. Yeah,
it looks absolutely badass.
I mean, it's like quintessential Pacific Northwest ultra running.
Yeah.
And then the 50K, Joshua Potvin was first in a blistering 3 hours and 49 minutes. And then for the women, Sarah Alabin was first in 4:38. Moving on to this race, Lake Sonoma 50 mile, which is a classic. I mean, this race has just been going on since 2008. And this used to be when they still did 50 mile Western States qualifiers.
Oh yeah.
Lake Sonoma used to be a golden ticket race, Lake Sonoma 50. And even like Walmsley did it. Jameel Curry was out there helping with their live stream. They had a live stream this year. So the race has kind of becoming resurrected. There was a lot of elites out there. In fact, first place for the women was Tara Dower. So Tara, in her lead up to Western States, she's really been on top of the world with after like last year, she won Umstead outright, did the Appalachian Trail speed record, overall speed record. She's just and then she won that 50K in Virginia Beach where she was living at the time. Oh, she got fourth at Hard Rock last year too. And
Isn't that wild?
Scout Mountain.
Isn't it wild that you take fourth at Hard Rock and all of a sudden that becomes by the way?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, that's crazy.
And then the podium Black Canyon in one of the most, competitive races of the year in the United States to get second, and then come out to this Lake Sonoma and get first with a golden ticket leading into Western States. The only other thing I see on her schedule is the Memorial Day training camp out at Western States. They do a 3-day training camp where they run basically like 2/3 of the course or 3/4 of the course over 3 days. I did day one of that training camp once. It was pretty cool. It was like a 50K from Robinson Flat to Forest Hill.
How well is it? Are they all fat asses, or do they stock it for you and everything?
It's aided. It's not as many aid stations as Western States, but
sure,
you do have to pay money for the training camp, and then they shuttle you out in school buses to where you start, and then they have aid stations along the way.
Now, if you're not in Western States, can you still sign up to do the training camp?
Yep. that's what I did.
Oh wait, yeah. What the fuck? What a dumb question.
Ram,
of course.
No, you're good. My friend Ram was in Western States, and my friend Sean and I were crewing for him. So we signed up to do the training camp day one.
Dude, that's a good way just to go visit and hang out in fucking Auburn for a little while too.
Yeah, it's Memorial Day weekend every year.
Yeah, and, why not? Why not just like, hey, like let's turn this into like a little like getaway to Auburn, Tahoe, Sacramento kind of area.
Yeah, if you can sign up for one individual day, or you can sign up for all 3 days. If you sign up for all 3 days, you get, I think, around 70 miles over 3 days. So
that's a lot of miles in 3 days. Actually, that's
maybe like it's like 31 the first day, or 30 the first day, 20. I don't know. Maybe it's not 70, but it's
I mean, 30,
between
30,
60
20,
and 70.
I say 30, 20, 20, 70. You know what I mean? Even 60 miles. I mean, 60 miles in 3 days. Like, I mean, that's not nothing, right? Like, I mean, right. I get it. When you're at peak 100-mile training.
That's peak week. That's peak weekend. Yeah. It's like 3 to 4 weeks out.
Yeah, you're going to get. I know. Like when I'm doing 100-mile training, like I know that I'll hit a few times in a training session. I'll hit 60-mile weekends 3-ish times, right? Because you'll do like maybe not 60. You'll do like a 50K and then maybe like a 20-miler the day after, or something along those. So maybe not 60, but still, like it's not nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's this year. It's 5 weeks out from Western States. Yeah. So it's like perfect to have your peak weekend, right?
You go do that and you shut it you shut it down, man. Like you go to full taper.
Yeah. And you get some experience on the course, which is really important. Sometimes in the lead up, a lot of people will run canyons, or at least that's how they used to do it.
Yeah.
And canyons is expanded this year, which that's coming up. Is that?
Is Canyons the one that UTMB bought also?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's right, because it ruined it.
Yeah. Okay, so Canyons isn't until the 25th, 26th. So I imagine we'll be making some Canyons predictions next week. But yeah,
cool.
it's still, I don't know. I really liked Canyons. I did run it the first year when UTMB bought it, and it was like totally different. But
yeah.
Anyway, let's Lake Sonoma. We didn't go over the men's results, so let me.
Stephen Kirsch won 6:50, 31 seconds. Ryan Raff second, 6:52 and 36, and then Chris Myers.
Yes. Chris Myers.
6:53 and 25 seconds. So Chris,
Chris is he's really been coming on strong last 2 years. He's a young guy, and he's a really fast runner. So I don't know what else Chris is signed up for this year, but let's see. I don't know if he made it into Western States or not, but here we go. No, doesn't look like he's in Western States, but
he's had a pretty solid 2025 already. Though.
This is the wrong Chris Myers. You know what? He is in Western States. I'm sorry. Correction.
No, this is the Chris Myers that we're thinking of.
Yeah. No, correction. There's two Chris Myers on Ultra sign up.
You're on the other. Okay.
Yeah, he's also going to the Western States training camp weekend.
Yeah.
And he's running Western States. So, man, this is going to be one of the most epic Western States ever.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets better and better every year.
Yeah, because he's already on Chris. You can already see where some stuff is starting to get dialed in, right?
Chuckanut, dude. He got first place at Chuckanut.
He won Chuckanut. Yeah, that's not a 50K.
And then he got third at Black Canyon.
Yeah,
that's how he got his golden ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is going to be awesome.
So
cool.
I love the name of this next 50K.
Yeah, let's look at Mad City Ultras.
Mad City.
And I think this is like a road race, or maybe it's a loop or something. I'm not sure, but it's the USATF National Championship race, and USATF. The 50K is a certified course, so it is. Your finish time will be valid for the 50K World Championship.
Yeah, this year was the road championship. They got to hold the road championship this year, which is pretty badass. That's a pretty cool.
It is, and it's looks like a 10K loop course.
Oh God,
so
days.
The interesting thing about Mad City Ultras is the first place man and the first place woman are both the current 50-mile world record holders. Charlie Lawrence and Courtney Olson. They're both 50-mile world record holders, and they both got first in the 50K. And look who's fifth. Johnny Rutford. Your alter ego.
I mean, had his family spelled the name right, he probably would have been on the podium. But he loses the HER and thus loses 2 spots in the finishing time.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That is really, really funny. All right. Well, we're gonna move on, but like one thing I just realized is we didn't do the second and third place women at Lake Sonoma, but Jane Mao got second, 7:54. Robin Mildren third, 8:07.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, Mad City, I didn't want to dive into that too much. I just wanted to mention that the 50-mile world record holders, which both were set at Tunnel Hill, the 50-mile records in different years.
What's kind of funny is if I'm showing up to a race and I know the 50-mile world record holder is there, I'm probably thinking,
and if it's a flat road race,
I'm probably thinking like, shit, I'm going to get my doors blown off. They didn't win their races by that much.
Yeah,
like they won by a couple minutes each. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't crazy. You know what I mean? That's kind of like, I don't know. That's kind of impressive. Maybe they were like, fuck it. You know what I mean?
No, I can see how it's the USATF championship, so I can see how it'd be pretty competitive.
Yeah.
Leona Divide. This is
Leona Divide.
So, this is a very classic race. And it's a Western States qualifier that just kind of flies under the radar. You don't hear much about it. It wasn't on any of the major results pages that I had seen. I only remembered that it was going on because a Strava friend from the area where I live now, and I met volunteering earlier in the year. He told me he was running this, and he did run it. It sounds tough. It's kind of like a huge out and back with a couple of stems that go out. The 100K and the 100 miler are Western States qualifiers. It sounds like it's a tough race, but there's been a lot of big names that have ran it over the years. I mean, Carl Meltzer. And actually, I think Carl, he did run it this year. Yeah, he ran the 100 miler and he got 5th. So he must really like it. Emilio Sanchez got this. Oh, I'm sorry. I should just say where this race is. It's in Southern California at Lake Hughes. And some of it takes place on the Pacific Crest Trail. I think maybe a lot of it. I think it's around between 10 and 11,000 feet of climbing for the 100K, maybe. The 100 miler, I think, might be relatively new, actually. Let me see if I don't know if Ultra Sign Up has. Well, I'm not going to look into it now, but
what are you looking for?
I want to see how long the 100 miler has been going on. Emilio Sanchez from Chino Hills got first in 1954 in the 100 miler. Sam Kemper second in 2024. And for the women, looks like, let's see here. Mathilde Giroud from San Francisco, 2508 for first. Miriam Staniszewski from Santa Monica, 2544. And then the 100K, which is the classic race that Luke Garton got first in 1024, Jonathan Metcalf second, 1053. And then for the women, Sonia Auha, 1216, and Shelby Christensen, 1220. The course looks really cool. All the pictures I've seen look cool. I would like to do this race one year. I imagine it can get hot.
It is a interesting race in the fact that it is like, I'm looking on their website right now and I'm kind of looking at the map of it. It is for sure a race that, I'm not going to lie, I would easily get. I could easily see getting turned around on this race.
Yeah,
I could easily see you start, because you're right. It's a line with like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 or 5 like sticks off from it. I would ease. So you go south and then you make a hard right. You're out and back. You come back. You make another right.
Yep.
You go down. You go right. You go right again. You go out to an outback. You come back. You go, see, like right there, I'm lost. You go right. And I'm on the 100 mile. All right, I'm back. I'm heading back north now. I go left there. I go up, I go out and back.
Yeah.
I go out and back. I come down here. Holy shit, dude! It is just there's just so many out and backs, and then dude, it is.
But they do the race director, Keely Henninger, I believe her name is. Yeah. She does a great job putting on races. So I have no doubt it's very well run and very well marked.
The 100 miler, the
2
100
years.
miler. Oh, 2 years what?
This is the second year for the 100 miler, I think.
For the 100?
Yeah.
I'm going to use this term very loosely. The 100 miler only has 16,400 feet, 16,447 feet of gain. Yeah. And technically not a 100 miler. It's a 99.3 miler.
Okay.
But I'm looking at the little dude, it looks like a heartbeat. It's like dun 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 dun. You are not running flat at all.
Yeah,
you're either going up or down. There is no.
Yeah, I imagine it's kind of like climbing at muck. You get some semi-long uphill, some really nice downhills. The 100K has been going on since 2019. The 50 miler, and I believe this used to be a golden ticket race as well a long time ago. The 50 miler is the one that's been around forever since 1992. So
it's such an interesting course. You've got to check out whenever you get a second, whenever you get a free beat, go check out the 100 mile course. It is wild as fuck. I'd be dizzy as fuck on that thing.
Yeah,
Leona Divide.
You really got to have it down and in your head. In the 50 miler, Harshal Shah was first, 8:17, and then for the women, Melissa Flores, 9:49, and they also have a 50K as well. It's been going on since 2010. It looks like Kurt Steffen, 4:26, won overall, and Philippa Richter got first for the women in 5:02. Peterson Ridge Rumble was also this weekend. This is a race that's been going on a really long time. This is showing since 2011, but maybe that's when they started using Ultra Sign Up. So it's a fundraiser, and it's put on by Sean Messinger, I think. And I've heard him on a podcast talking about it. It sounds like a really cool race, the 40 miler. And here we go. So in the 40 miler, Evan Moreau was first in 4:50. And this is in Oregon, by the way.
Sisters, Oregon, which seems like a very, very cool section of Oregon.
Yeah, and this is a family atmosphere type race.
Yeah.
The first place male, Evan Moreau, and the first place female, Ashley Nordell, who she finished in 5:32. They're both from Sisters.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Peterson Ridge Rumble. I believe it's been going on for 15 years. I'm thinking. And it's a loop course.
I kind of wish I could find their. I wish I could find a map of it or something like
that. Really quickly, the Arizona Monster 300 wrapped up, and Arizona's own Pete Mortimer was first. He's a cool dude. 3 days, 14 hours, 33 minutes. And for the women, Let's see here. Ann Tisdale, 4 days, 9 hours and 14 minutes. In the first ever 300 miler. I mean, not in a timed event format, but definitely heard a lot of mixed reviews about this race and Reddit and social media and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure, a first year race, not always easy to get, put on, but yeah, definitely some drama. All right, I'm going to move on. We're behind. The Araroa, the trail in New Zealand that goes all the way the length of both islands. Another FKT, the third one that we've talked about recently.
Crazy.
And this is self-supported for the men. The last one we talked about was self-supported for the women, but Billy Wahoo Meredith got in the multi-sport category. I'm guessing he had to canoe or kayak or something. He did 52 days, 11 hours and 57 minutes for self-supported. Pretty impressive.
That's every time we talk about that effing court, I'm just like, that doesn't even make sense.
No,
it just doesn't even make sense.
No, it's very rugged and remote, and to do it self-supported is just, that's something. The Appalachian Trail and FKT was set on the Connecticut section. The Connecticut section is probably the shortest state, right? I'm guessing, or I don't know, maybe.
I mean, you got other states that are like you take 3 steps through. Remember how we looked at it at one time? What's
right.
Was it Delaware or was it somewhere like that where you're like,
yeah, or Rhode Island or something?
Yeah, it was one of the mid-Atlantic states. It was like Delaware, Jersey, somewhere down and through there. You barely hit it, and you were in, you were out. But yeah, I mean, still, look at that. That's a super short. That's still pretty short.
Yeah, maybe is it Massachusetts? Maybe.
I thought it was further south. I thought it was one of the southern.
Anyways,
or one of the mid-Atlantics. Anywho's what's it?
The Connecticut section is 49.5 miles with 11,565 feet of climb. So some pretty decent climbing in Connecticut. And Sean Parker just set the supported FKT 9 hours and 21 minutes, which totally blows all the other FKTs out of the water in that Connecticut section of the Appalachian Trail. The next closest one is 10 hours and 42 minutes, looks like. And that's unsupported. Okay, let's jump into some news. Katie Schide and Jermaine Granger, who are both sponsored by North Face, have moved on to this shoe company On, which, to be honest, I didn't even know that On made trail shoes. I don't know. A lot of the comments were saying that that's a step in the wrong direction. I don't know what On's trail lineup really looks like, but if Katie Schide is doing it, she's the #1 female ultra runner in the world right now, I would say.
Yeah.
Or, she's got to be. They must be making something that's going to be good.
They're definitely making strides, right? It's funny because they've made big jumps, right? I remember when they first came out, they were just super corny. You're get out of here. This is they really leaned into the look and the aesthetic of the bubble, you can see through and you're on clouds. You're dude, come on, this is corny as shit. So they really start but man, they made a mark for themselves. They got some traction on the road, and once they got some traction on the road, I have seen them on trail shoes here and there.
Okay.
And so they Yeah, man.
I know they're a big shoe company. I mean, their stock prices, it's
So
they're a big company, but
yeah,
we'll see what they do. I mean, if they sign Katie Schide, that's a huge win for them.
That's massive. I mean, it's funny because I was actually just looking at their shoes maybe a couple weeks ago, and then I was like, all right, this is getting fucking ridiculous. I need to stop buying running shoes. But yeah, they've got some stuff out there, man. Like I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they hold up. I mean, you know how it is. Katie goes to a race and wins, and she has on cloud shoes and maybe an on cloud singlet on or some shit like that. All of a sudden, like it's like that's what people want.
Floodgates are open.
Open up, yeah. So pretty cool.
Look out, Hoka. No.
Yeah.
All right. LazCon, he's started where he left off. We talked a little bit about it last week. He, as of yesterday, he's continuing his walk across America. And as of yesterday, Jared Beasley tweeted that he made Anthony, Kansas yesterday. It was the longest day so far for him, on towards Attica, Kansas. So he is in Kansas, walking down a dirt road in this picture.
That's such a great picture too. I know.
And a slow sign, and it's pretty funny too. And after we recorded the show last week, I think maybe a day later, there was this picture that surfaced where he's getting patted down by a cop, and he said that they thought they thought he was homeless or something. So I don't know if it's
stupid, illegal
to be homeless wherever he is in this picture, but
I mean, it's such a I don't like, this is getting ready to be a whole wild different kind of level of gamut of conversation, but like I feel like that's a weird, like, that is a very, I'm a rural sheriff, I'm a rural police officer, constable. I'm out here in the middle of bumfuck Egypt nowhere. I have nothing better to do. Oh, look, here's some old dude hobbling down the road. He's probably homeless. I should pat him down. What the fuck? Like, for real? You don't have.
I gotta wonder if it's a staged.
Oh, dude, I actually hope it is staged just for the ha value of it. Otherwise, like, that just screams I am a super bored police officer. And it's so weird.
Let's not overlook the most bizarre part of this photo, right?
I know.
If you look in the background, there is this like billowing smoke, fire in this field. It's got to be like a field fire.
I really do, but the more you look at the multiple components of this photo, it's gotta be like Laz saw this fire. That cop was maybe sitting there because of the fire, right, in the background.
Yeah.
And Laz comes like strolling up, like, "Hey, you know what'd be really fucking funny? A photo of me getting patted down, or maybe Jared. It's probably more Jared." Talked him into, "Hey, dude, this would be really fucking funny." Photo, you know what I mean? Like, it's gotta be staged. It has to be staged.
I can see Laz like, "Hey, you got a light?" Or something.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, so weird.
Good old Laz. All right, let's. This is something funny that I came across. The comments on what I'm about to show it's just hilarious. But there's some race. It's in Scotland, the Ultra Tour of Arran, and there's this thing called the Bog of Doom, and you can see people coming up this hill. It's like a grass trail, and they get to one part, and then it literally just sink down to their waist in mud. And it's just some of the comments like, "Actual quicksand. Nah, I grew up in the 90s. I don't fuck with that."
Yeah.
But look at them. It's just hilarious. Like every single one of them. is just going in this mud, like waist deep mud.
That would be my most instant DNF ever. Like I would get to that and be like, how far back to the nearest aid station before this? Because I'd fuck that.
I wonder,
I'd be like,
I wonder how many people after they went through that lost their shoes.
Oh, dude, all of them. No way people got out of that with their shoes. Like, you'd have to have your shoes like duct tape on to not lose them in that.
Yeah, I would definitely be tightening the laces. That's for sure.
That is pretty awesome, though.
Also, just to add to the sheer firepower of talent that's going to be in Cocodona this year, Jack Scott, winner of the winter spine race in England, who also set the record there, is coming to America. He's from England. He's coming to America to run Cocodona. It's going to be an awesome year. That guy is so tough.
Speaking of Coco, guess who else is going to be at Coco? Trumbo and Smithburger. Well, yes, us. Trumbo and Smithburger are going out there to crew.
Oh, nice.
Going out there to crew. Oh my God! If I say the wrong name, I'm going to get crucified for it. They're friends with starts with a V.
Versteeg?
I think so.
Michael Versteeg, the whiskey man.
Oh my God! I cannot remember who they're going out there to crew. I'd have to look, but yes, they'll be out there crewing somebody.
Is it an Ohio runner?
I don't think so. I was talking to Molly.
Well, they run Versteeg's. Trumbo always runs Versteeg's race. That you know what I'm talking about?
I don't, but their friend. I bet it is Versteeg.
The saddles race. Anyway.
So, yeah. Someone else that'll be out there.
So, yeah, that would be interesting, actually. I wondered if they knew him just because he always does his race, but that guy is like pretty well connected for Versteeg. Yeah. Out in Arizona. So I don't know. We need to find out though. We need to find out. Maybe I'll reach out to Jay and see. But that's interesting. And we'll have to try to meet up with them. Oh crap. Yeah. I just closed that screen. Yeah, we'll have to try to meet up with those guys. That'd be cool. It'd be fun. Okay, last thing for news is Ultra Sign Up. They're doing this thing this year. We went over it last month, I believe, where they're going over top performances, and also they're going over races with the most finishers every month, which I'm a stats geek, so I kind of like looking at this stuff. Let's start with the number of races. There was 244 ultras in March. There was 10,390 finishers and 2,616 first-time finishers of those 10,390. So it's a pretty impressive amount of new people getting into ultra running. Chuckanut was the biggest race with 623 finishers, or the most finishers, I should say. Antelope Canyon, 457. Crown King, 260. Way Too Cool, 258. Muck, Marin Ultra Challenge, 231. Hat Trail Run, 50K, 230. Big Alta, 225. Antelope Canyon, 173. Crooked Road, 24-hour, 168. And Behind the Rocks in Utah, 161. Top performances in the 50K, Jocelyn Sadler, Prairie Spirit, 3 hours and 30 minutes. And Michael Wardian at the Pistol, 3 hours and 13 minutes. And I believe that's when Mike Wardian set the age group 50K age group record. Emily Hugo in the 50 mile, top performance in March, 6 hours, 27 minutes at the Lake to Lake Ultra. And Alec Klein at the Get Lucky 50-50, which is in Ohio, 5 hours and 33 minutes. In the 100K, Andrea White at Prairie Spirit, 9:22. And Michael Ulig at the Pistol, 7 hours and 50. 100 mile, we had Angela Smith at Prairie Spirit, 15:51, and Pete Kosselnick, Prairie Spirit, 14:02. Good to see Pete out there.
I didn't even know he's back to run. I kind of knew he's back to able to run. I didn't know he's back to running like that. Like that dude came back from a catastrophic injury.
Yeah. He's been doing some races, yeah, and actually he's been doing really well at some races. Yeah, he's fully back.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know he was in a bad accident. And then a 24-hour Melissa Soper at Pulse Endurance runs, Pickled Feet, 113 miles. Nicholas Steele at Howard Aslinger Memorial, 124.9 miles. So that was just some cool stats. Okay. That's it for news.
Oh. This is strictly March stuff.
Yes.
Dude, you started naming off the biggest races, and I was like, there's no fucking way these are right. I was like, there are some people straight hiding numbers if these numbers are right. Like, this is bullshit. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
okay.
No,
all right.
just March. Just March.
Okay, all right.
Cool. All right, let's jump into the 3 T's. Trips. Tips, tricks, and thoughts. 3 T's. We're talking this week about running at altitude, especially if you're at sea level or if you live like less than 1,000 feet above sea level, or even if you live at 5,000 feet above sea level. If you're going up to 10,000 feet, or more, it's a huge difference.
Yeah.
And really, like, I don't know, have you run any races up high? Oh yeah, Tahoe.
Just Tahoe
200. Yeah. I feel like we have talked about this, but we haven't done it as 3 T's. So
yeah.
I want to get your thoughts on
running at altitude,
preparation, or combating it, or just how it affected you.
I hate to say this. This will be the shittiest, fastest 3 T's ever, possibly. There is really nothing you can do to get ready for it. Like I hate to say it. Like I do believe that too. Now, can you do things to get yourself more physically fit? Sure. Right? Should you do a fuck ton of like hill repeats to get ready to go up and down the elevation? Absolutely. But can you do things to help prevent altitude sickness? I am really, 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 really far in the bandwagon of no. Like you cannot do anything to prevent out. Can you do stuff to reduce the risk of it? Kind of, maybe, right? Like I remember when we ran Tahoe, right? I remember Chad Hill, who was like, I credit to him, like this will be no breaking news. Chad Hill, an infinitely better planner than I am, right? So Chad was like, here's what we're going to do. Here's when we're going to get out there. And I remember it being like a thing of like, if you're running at altitude, you're not from altitude, you want to get there X amount of days before to allow for a little bit of getting used to it.
Acclimatizing.
Oh, fuck me, whatever. You want to get there a handful of days to get used to it. But it's one of those things where, like, if you get there longer, then it really doesn't do anything. If you get there shorter, it doesn't give you time. So it's like this is the right time to get there, right? And like I remember getting it, and I'm saying all this because Chad trained just as hard as I did for Tahoe. He did everything I did. He probably did more that I don't know about than I did. And still at mile 80 something got altitude sickness. And so it does really suck. Like, I know that people talk about putting them weird face mask things on and restricting your oxygen intake while you're running, and you know, there's those, but like
the altitude tents.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, if you got the money to drop on an altitude tent, maybe that does, but like for a common person, you know, like I remember people talk about like, oh, put the mask on, like that's not affecting your blood though. Like,
that's not actually doing the same thing as being at altitude.
Yeah, it's just reducing the amount that you're taking in. It's not doing all the like molecular weird
It's not
shit.
changing the air.
Yeah, and so I will say, so I do hate to say, I don't think there's a lot you could do. Like, yes, get there like 5 days before, 3 days before, whatever it is, and allow your body to like get used to it the best it can. Yes, you will run slower, or you damn well should run slower. Otherwise, you're going to fuck around and find out. I will tell you, my favorite thing about being at altitude and running is the absolute monstrosity of boogers that you blew out your nose.
Yeah.
Like, it is so wildly dry. It's so much more arid up there.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it's just crazy. So
I want to comment on that, and that's one thing I was going to bring up, but since you're there, you have to drink literally like double the amount of liquids that you would at sea level. It's so dry.
Yeah. And your skin always feels like, you just feel like you can like you feel like you have like, well, in Tahoe you probably really did. You feel like you have like a layer of like dust or
in Tahoe, it is very dry, and there's rock dust that is settled on those trails. And when you get a bunch of people going over it, it's just this haze of rock dust floating. So if you're sweating, that stuff's just going to stick to your body.
Yeah. So that's my 2 cents on altitude. Like, slow down, drink way more water, get there a couple days before. Don't buy into the hype about doing X, Y, and Z and training. Like I mean, train like you would for like, if it's a up and down at elevate, then train for the up and downs. But like, don't worry about the goofy ass masks and shit like that. Just get there a couple days early, drink a lot more water, be prepared to go a lot slower.
Yeah. So that's I kind of agree, like, that there's not much you can do, but I think the one thing that you can do is make sure you're in good shape.
Yeah.
I fully believe that your aerobic fitness, your body's ability to carry oxygen through your body, is the key. I went into a race at high altitude when I was in really great physical fitness. Like, I was training in Michigan, in flat Michigan, at like 150 feet above sea level. I went out and ran a race in Colorado that went up to like 10,500 feet. And I was very physically fit. And other than right when I started with the fast heart rate, and then that kind of calmed down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I felt fine. Like, it was dry. I got, all the things that Johnny said, but being physically fit will help you adjust to that altitude, because it will help your body, carry oxygen. Now, I went into another Colorado race, and I was not in the best physical shape. I hadn't trained hard as hard as I normally do, just because I got started late on a training cycle, and I died. The altitude affected me so bad. Like at mile, it was a 50 miler. I think at mile like 35 or 40, I was done. I told the aid station, like, I'm done. Luckily, Jessica's cousin's wife was working at that aid station, and she's like, you're not done. Like, drink this Coke and get out of here.
Wrong. You're still in.
Yeah. Thankfully she didn't let me drop. But the point is, just try to make sure you're in as good of fitness as you can be. I think that goes a long way. Another thing, they say that if you get there within 24 hours, that your body doesn't have time to really recognize the thing. So either you get there a couple days in advance to kind of just get used to it, or you get there like the night before the race or something. But honestly, I don't think just from my personal experience, I don't know about that 24 hours thing, because I've gotten off the plane and did a hike at super high altitude and my heart's racing, just whatever. So I don't know if there's much to that, and also I did read that Advil or like ibuprofen can mitigate some of the effects of altitude.
What?
Interestingly enough, when I was out doing some sections of the Hard Rock course with my friends Sean and Ram, I would take just 2 Advil every day before we went out to do those sections. And honestly, I felt fine. Like my heart wasn't even racing hard on the climbs, but I'm not advocating that anybody take Advil.
This is not medical advice.
No, I am not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. And I don't want people to take Advil because I know there can be some serious problems from that. I'm just saying what I read and then, from my experience. So don't do as I do. Don't be stupid. Unless you want to end up with rhabdo.
Rhabdo.
End up in the hospital and ruin your running life. But no, I think honestly the best way to deal with it is just to be in as good a shape as you can be.
Yeah.
And when you first start, you're going to feel it. No matter how good a shape you're in, you're going to be like, oh shit, what'd I get myself into? But it doesn't take long for that to just kind of settle down. I mean, I've done several races between like 7,000 and 10,000 feet. And it's pretty similar, everyone, when you first start it's terrible, but within the first like mile or two, you calm down.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right, but don't take Advil. Don't do it. Not smart.
Shit.
It's just an interesting experiment that I did. All right. Anything else?
I got nothing else. I was cheating and checking some hockey scores. Sadly, my beloved Blue Jackets season just came to a screeching halt with the Montreal Canadiens beating the Carolina Hurricanes. And because the Habs won that game, it eliminates the Jackets from postseason. So we have one more game. We have a regular season game tomorrow night that is basically for farts in the wind. But we have one more game and then no postseason for the lovely Blue Jackets this year.
Yeah, I haven't followed hockey too much since we moved out here. When we lived in Michigan, I followed the Red Wings a lot, but we have the San Jose Sharks out here, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
But sorry to hear about the Blue Jackets.
That's it. That's all we got.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll be on next week with a guest, a returning guest, and it should be fun.
Should be a really good one. Ton of knowledge.
Ton of knowledge and well connected in the ultra running community. And he's had a lot of great success recently. So we're looking forward to talking to him again, and you'll find out who it is next week. So
cool. Awesome.
All right.
See y'all later.
See you, everyone.